Imagine understanding and knowing that your life matters deeply. And as much as you feel that it might not at times, if you are working and grinding a 9 to 5 and your soul is getting grinded to dust as you get up and do whatever work that you have for whatever company that you work for that you might miserably hate, all of that goes somewhere. All of it, all of your pain, all of your suffering, all of your loneliness, all of the despair that you have in your heart, all of your stress, it all goes somewhere. Praise the Sun. This is the Praise the Sun podcast. Very first episode, the long awaited because a lot of people have been asking me to make some form of consistent digital media and podcast format. And it's not that I was resistant to it. It's just I didn't know what y'all wanted me to talk about. Like, it's just so many things to talk about. I didn't know how to niche down and to talk about something. So let's talk about this. One of the most important fundamental things that influences my life on a daily basis is that we are all one being. We are all one. We are all light energy choosing to manifest itself through various different forms in their various different bodies from various different perspectives. And I can't prove that to you. If that's important for you to see from your experience, I don't have that evidence. Even if I had a video of God itself just flowed out in the ethers, like I don't think it would be enough for you to see that. To experience it is something different. And I can't say that I've experienced the totality of feeling everyone's beingness, if you will, from that one perspective. Although I know that I have on some level, it's just not in the body's memory currently accessible to me. But throughout my spiritual quote unquote awakening, since that's the buzzword that people like to throw around, throughout the awakening process, again and again, external to me through media, through reading, through hearing spiritual people talk about it, through research, I found that this is the variable that is the most consistent, that we are one being, choosing to manifest itself, to experience life on this planet with free will in whatever way that we choose to. And I feel like this is important because a lot of times we get caught up and lost in the day-to-day functions of the personas that we've created to exist in this realm, to exist in this third dimensional reality that we have. Me, Sage, if you will. I go by many names, but for the podcast, I'll be Sage. Sage, the persona, all of my history, all of my stories, all of my past, present, futures is just one aspect of the infinite creator, God, or whatever, synonym that you want to use for something that is everything. The persona can be heavy. It can weigh a lot. It can be very dense. Sage can have a lot of problems. Sage can have a lot of bills. Sage can have depression. Sage can experience pain and suffering and all these different things. And all of those things feel very much real. And I mean, they are. They are real. But that's just one aspect of the totality of all things. And remembering that you exist as a part of this whole. Remembering that you are the whole. Consistently, every day, grounding yourself with that understanding, with that presence, with that knowledge, I think is very powerful. Because on one level, you are experiencing life as whatever persona that you have, whatever your name is. You're experiencing that day-to-day, daily function. You're experiencing that reality. But on another level, you've never left God or creator or infinite potential, universe, whatever you want to call it. You've never left. And to understand that you're experiencing life simultaneously as those beings, the ability to tap into that at any time, knowing that you are not alone, you are never alone, you have infinite knowledge, you have infinite capabilities, potentials, you can manifest whatever reality that you choose to, whatever you desire at any time. That's power. That's knowledge. But see, life is what you make it. And it's taken me a long time to understand that and ground that within inside of myself to fully understand that your beliefs dictate your reality. Your beliefs dictate your reality. And I think that from a tangible perspective, I think that most people can understand that. Like most people can sit down and think back on things that they were thinking about, perhaps negatively, and they thought about it so much that they possibly inadvertently manifested that reality for themselves. A lot of times it's our insecurities, the negative things that we think about ourselves, and therefore we carry that energy, that negativity, that weight within our personas. So then we project that out onto the world because we feel whatever way that we think we are. So we might feel ugly, or we might feel unworthy, or we might feel, all those things. So then we create ourselves to be that way, and then we project that way, and then people perceive of us that way. But they only perceive of us that way because we've created that self. We created that image of ourself in the first place. If you created yourself to be a confident person, if you created yourself to be a knowledgeable person, people will see that in you because that's the reality that you're creating. That's the reality that you're projecting. That's the reality that is being manifested right then, right there. You are creating the reality of being a confident, mature, whatever type person. Those are the fundamental mechanisms for manifestation and tapping into that godliness, if you want to, that infiniteness, if you want to, understanding that you can tap into that at any moment. That's true power. And these are not exactly the things that you can learn in school or whatever. I mean, a lot of things that you learn in school is just what has happened, but not what will happen, or they teach you how to function as a consumer inside of the economy machine that we have running. But there's not too much on spirituality. And I guess that's where we are currently. It's just we are currently functioning as beings who perceive of themselves as limited nature. We perceive of ourselves as human beings, and the totality of our existence is of a human being, not a spiritual being. And when we're quote unquote dead, R.I.P., as the young people say, or no, what do they say? They say unalive. When we're unalived, see, I got my I'm getting a little old, but I don't even want to say hipster, because I feel like that's even outdated. I don't even know what to say now, but I'm not a boomer, guys. Please, I'm doing my best. But when you perceive of yourself as a biological being that has a beginning and an end, and not a spiritual being choosing to manifest itself and see itself as a human being which has a beginning and end, but when that end is over, my sense of self, my consciousness, my spirituality, my energy, my prana, my all those things, my chi, my kundalini, that carries on and returns home to infinite creator, to infinite knowledge, infinite love, infinite wisdom, unconditional love, unconditional wisdom. It returns to that. And then it embarks on another journey, another incarnation, picking up another suit, picking up another body, to then live out that life for whatever learning experiences that help the whole grow. Well, wow, that's a big reframing of your life now, isn't it? Imagine understanding and knowing that your life matters deeply. And as much as you feel that it might not at times, if you are working and grinding a 9 to 5 and your soul is getting grinded to dust as you get up and do whatever work that you have for whatever company that you work for that you might miserably hate, all of that goes somewhere. All of it, all of your pain, all of your suffering, all of your loneliness, all of the despair that you have in your heart, all of your stress, it all goes somewhere. None of the things that you experience go in vain. None of it. Because we are all one being. And your suffering is my suffering. And my love is your love. That is what it means to understand that we are all one. You see, I brought it back. I brought it back there. I flew off on my tangent, but I reeled it back in. I brought it back in. We are one. And I cannot prove that to you. But when you come to see it yourself, my God, you'll say it's beautiful. So, do it. Just do it. To get to the second point, just do it. Whatever you're thinking about doing, just do it. Okay? I have too many friends who are thinking of doing things and they're not doing it. And even myself, I've been putting off the podcast. I wouldn't say I've been putting it off. I've just been doing a lot of stuff. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I can multitask very greatly, but to be able to sit down and focus and give your directed energy into something, I think that matters more. So whatever you're thinking about doing, just do it. Just do it. Just start now. If you're thinking about starting a business, just do it. Start now. I have friends who want to do energy practices, doing Reiki practices. Get to going, get to rubbing them hands and putting them on, get to doing the energy transfers. I mean no disrespect to Reiki practitioners. I'm not exactly fluent in how the entire process takes place, even though I feel like I've done some before in my lifetime, energy transferring. But just do it. Because what do you have to lose? If you're working right now and you're working for someone else, you already know what that life is like, right? You already are experiencing that reality of, I'm working for this person, I'm grinding a 9 to 5, I'm putting in 160 hours a month. Great. You know what that is. So why not try to do that for yourself? And initially it's going to be hard if you work for someone, you're putting in those hours. Of course, it's going to be difficult. But what's also going to be difficult is not seeing the long-term aspects of working for someone else for the rest of your life. When you work for yourself, you are in complete control. You have complete freedom, financial freedom over whatever you're doing in your life. And you can have that financial freedom, but it won't come in 1 year or overnight. Or I know those are really drastic differences. Like, how did I go from 1 year to overnight? Listen, don't be nitpicky. I'm doing my best. Okay. But it's look, it's not going to come quickly is what I'm getting at. It's not going to come quickly. And for some, it might. And then you'll compare yourself to them and say, well, it happened, this fast for so-and-so. You're not them. They blew up overnight. It happens. But consistency is what matters the most. And if you can consistently create some type of framework, some type of business that's generating, profits for yourself over the long run, you will eventually create financial freedom for yourself. So just do it. Just do it. And don't make it about the money. Of course, we all think about money since that's how the world, it runs on the trading of things like that. But focus on the process of creating a persona of a consistent, mature, because maturity is important, consistent, mature, and knowledgeable person. I feel like I'm missing things there, but like, if anything, just focus on being a consistent person. I feel like money is the byproduct of a consistent person. And sure, that's a generalization because you can be consistent on a lot of things and not make money. But if you're consistent with your business, if you're consistent with personal development, if you're consistent with evolving yourself as a person and giving back, because that's an exchange, you can create money off of that. You can create revenue off of that. But if you're focusing on the consistency, money will be the byproduct of the consistency. And a lot of entrepreneurs will tell you this, but it's true. It's true. As you give value to people, they give back to you. That's an exchange. That's an energetic exchange that's happening there. And you can view that exchange from many different perspectives. You can view it as love. If you care about this person, if you want to tap into the spirituality of things, if you tap into that oneness of things, you can say, all right, well, who can I give love to today? Who can I be consistently loving today? What can I do to help more people today from that perspective? Find something of value to create and then give to others and see this as a loving exchange. Don't have expectations, because then you're setting yourself up for failure. Just focus on being consistent and everything else will fall into place. I don't know what direction I'm going with the podcast. As you can see, I have a lot to say. Praise the sun. But all I know is I want to give love, and let's see what happens. I just want to turn on the mic, get into a flow state, channel whatever's coming to mind, say it with my own persona's voice, vernacular, the way I talk, the way I think, the uniqueness that Creator is choosing to manifest in this moment through this body. I just want to do my best to give that out into the world and see what happens. And you should too. You should too. Remember, my beloved avatars, because I like to say avatars since I feel like people would understand that. Your body is the avatar. My beloved avatars, all is one. Infinite creator, potential, God, whatever you want to call it, is unconditional love. And you are that as well. You exist within that unconditional love. Peace and praises be to you. Praise the sun. I'll see y'all next time. Use the necessary channels to follow, subscribe, and all that. I'm not sure where this is all going to be, but praise the sun. Peace.